So hi everyone, this is Can-Eh-Dian. I'm going to be narrating the first never used battle of the Smogon Premier League. So I guess I'll bring you guys a bit of an introduction. So one thrust is Soulgazer, and call me Ice96 is Evan, also known as Can-Eh-Dian on the forum, but I'll call him Evan because that's what I call him, and that's just a better name than Canadian. It's a stupid ass name. Spelled Can-EH-DN. It's like, yeah, no. So anyway, looking at the teams, this is an ORAS NU, never used. Soulgazer has Musharna, Combuskin, Wheezing, Mantine, Sceptile, and Rhydon. It's an interesting team. It looks like a bit of a balance. If I had to guess, it would either be around Baton Pass Musharna or yeah, I think it's around CM Pass Musharna. I'm gonna try to go into this as I'm blind, but I watched the game once over, but yeah, it's around CM Pass Musharna to I guess Special Combuskin and Sceptile, maybe even to Specs Mantine. So it's got some real good recipients. At the same time, I think that while it has nice defensive synergy with like Wheezing plus Musharna plus Rhydon plus Mantine, I think that it has a bit of a hole or two in it, specifically like Kabutops is number two, especially if Wheezing gets weakened, and there's some other threats. It also needs to be executed well because it's hard to pass combine successfully to a couple frailer things. Although Musharna is slower and does get momentum, but you just got to really execute well. I think it's a bit of a risky team to bring. I'm not saying that I don't like the build, but it's an interesting thing to bring. I wouldn't expect this from Soulgazer. I expect them to bring something a bit more bulky and conservative against Can-Eh-Dian in his first SPL game, because this is Evan's first SPL and this is Soulgazer's third. From Evan, he has an interesting team actually. He's got Camerupt, Xatu, Ferroseed, Scyther, Kabutops, and Sock. Now looky here, I noticed the first thing that pops out at me is the three physical offensive mons, Scyther, Kabutops, and Sock. I'm probably mispronouncing Scyther, but I don't really fucking care. In conjunction with Hazard's support and control in the next 3 months, I'd gather that the Stealth Rock user is Camerupt, the Spikes user is Ferroseed, and Xatu controls Hazards and checks fighting types. So I really feel like it's a nice balance in the sense that it has the offensive firepower, specifically physically offensive firepower, while it also has a defensive core and Hazards to sort of get damage done and really push the issue on the opponent. So I really am. I'm actually pretty fond of this build. I don't think that it's amazing, but for someone in their first SPL game, I approve of this. Anyway, let's get into the battle. Without further ado, Kabutops is the lead for Evan, and Wheezing is the lead for Soulgazer. And so yeah, at the start, Kabutops is going to be forced out in the camera up, and he's going to go for a Wisp from Wheezing, as you're going to see. And now that prompts Soulgazer to switch out. He goes to Mantine, and now here's where it starts. The play starts. I noticed this camera up doesn't go for Stealth Rock here, which sort of puzzles me. Sort of makes me a bit puzzled. I'm not sure why he wouldn't go for Stealth Rock. I guess he could have been predicting Rhydon to come in and get Stealth Rocks of his own. Wanted to clock it with an Earth Power to sort of weaken it a bit. I'm 100% sure it's not like a Specs Camerupt or something. I know it has Stealth Rock, so that's a bit odd. But Soulgazer gets his Mantine in safe, and the only way that really a Camerupt can touch it is if there's like a random ass Stone and Power Electric, and neither of them are really ever seen, especially since Mega Camerupt isn't in the tire any longer. So yeah. Let's get back into it. So now Mantine is going to go in, and now here's the first turning point of the game, I like to say. You're going to see that Skull does 73%, and in addition to that, gets a burn on the Xatu. And I'm not really sure why Evan went to Xatu, to be honest. I think this is a questionable play on his part, because even if you want to like bounce back like a Toxic, like Ferroseed is so much safer because it doesn't risk the Xatu getting burned and weakened. And you can see that Specs damage, so that's really bad for Evan because he needs that Xatu to check like Wheezing and maybe even Sceptile, and bounce back rocks. He doesn't want rocks up on the field when he's got a Scyther of his own. Although Rhydon is annoying, I'm sure it's probably either Grass Knot or at least got Psychic to damage the Rhydon. So it's something, and I just don't really like it getting weakened because I think it's a nice Pokemon to have long term for Evan. So I'm sort of questioning that play right then and there, but he'll be able to heal it up, as you're going to see, because Soulgazer is going to give the opportunity. Because Soulgazer, instead of letting him pushing into his Skulls, he's going to let I believe he Psychics here. Yeah, Psychics here. Soulgazer goes to the Musharna. I'm not quite sure why, and then just gives him a free roost as Soulgazer Calm Minds up, I think. Yeah, that's going to happen. I'm just going to turn this on fast. Oh, he's got a baton pass. I'm sorry. He's got a baton pass and a Sceptile. Now, Sceptile is probably going to force Zatu out with hidden power. And that's going to, and Soulgazer is going to predict that and double out. And he's going to get in the Scyther. And Scyther is going to predict and protect and go out the camera up now. Soulgazer uses protect here. And I'm going to slow down in a minute. But I believe this is where he sets up rocks. Please tell me to set up rocks. He sets up his rocks here, so that's good. And now, the Mantine's back into the threat. He's going to Scald the Pharaoh Seed, but Pharaoh Seed is going to take it and not get burnt, unlike everything else in the first couple games of SPL. It's got burnt. Now it's going to get burnt in the second one. It's going to be a bit above half if things are burnt. It's going to Leech Seed the Mantine, so that's good. It's going to be a bit above half again, and now Weezing comes in, and I believe he goes for Leech Seed and he misses. That was a good predict on Evan's part, but he didn't really go well because it missed. Now he's going to be forced out with the Pharaoh Seed, but it's going to be a nice double on Soulgazer's part, as he's going to go into the Mantine on the Zatu, so it's going to force the Zatu to be pressured again. It's going to take burn damage. So Zatu here is just going to go for the Psychic to damage it. Now, I'm not really fond of either of these plays here. As the Mantine goes for defog, get rid of the rocks. I understand the importance of getting rid of Stealth Rock on the field because it just really is annoying. Pressures the team, takes a 6.25% damage each turn, etc. But I felt like killing the Zatu would have been nice to do here. And I'm not sure why he's Psychic, why Evan's Psychic, because I get that it weakens the Mantine, but Mantine still got enough special defense to easily take it and probably even take another one for some other reason if it was like the Zatu was still alive after this turn, which it was because of defog. But I think that Pharaoh Seed, although it would get weakened, it's just a better play here. Well, let me see what health it's at. 42 would have been fodder. That's tough then. I mean, foddering Pharaoh Seed this early isn't the best, but like he doesn't really need it considering it's too weak to check anything else. And Spikes isn't going to be doing much against that team, especially given that there's Defog and all of the mons threaten it. And you're not really going to get a chance to set up Spikes unless you're against Bisharna. And Bisharna's going to be passing Calm Minds as you do that. So really, I think the foddering Pharaoh Seed there would have been an okay play. But I mean, I can understand the rationale behind Psychic, given that the Pharaoh Seed is so weak now and he's nothing else to switch into Scald. So, okay. He wanted to weaken and get the threat out of the way. I get that. At the same time, I still disagree with defog here. I think that spamming Scald would have been the best option. But maybe he wouldn't get a chance to defog later, and maybe he just really wanted to Stealth Rock out of the way. So like both these plays, I think there were alternatives that could have been resorted to, but I don't think that they were necessarily misplays either. So let's continue. Turn 14, Rhydon is the switch, and Roost is to play. And now I think that Grass Knot is going to be scouted for here. Yeah, Soulgazer is going to make a great play and scout the Grass Knot, and Evan's going to reveal that he is, in fact, the Grass Knot variant to lure in the Rhydon, which would have done a significant amount. Wouldn't have killed it, but would have done a significant amount. And now Soulgazer goes to Musharna. He gets a Calm Mind out. Scyther is going to come in and probably force that out, I'd assume. And then it's going to be Swords Dance from Scyther, and Soulgazer is probably going to predict like a CB U-turn or something and go for Moonlight, and that's going to come back to bite him. He's going to be forced out as Scyther Swords Dances, but then he's going to go to Rhydon and easily take the wing attack and U-turn damage. Still be above half. He's going to make a mistake here, and try to go for Stealth Rock when the Zatsu is still alive. And I understand the play because like Stone Edge is like into the +2 Scyther is like sounds like an obvious play, and Stone Edge would hit Zatsu. So like okay, he probably is not going to go to that. He'll go to like Sock or go to like Pharaoh Seed as fodder or something. But no, he does go to Zatu making the risky play, and that risky play pays off because Soulgazer goes for the Stealth Rocks. I guess that was more of a mispredict than a misplay. I wouldn't call that a misplay at all, but it sort of makes the defog earlier with Mantine useless because he got rocks back, and it also kills your momentum that you got after switching to your counter to the Scyther. So it's just a bad sequence of events for Soulgazer and a good sequence of for Evan. It's going to give him a bit of a lead here, but he's still not out of the doghouse given that his Zatu is so weakened, and his Pharaoh Seed is also weakened, and those are two key members of his defensive core. Going on, Soulgazer is going to once again be wary of the Grass Knot, and Evan's going to take this opportunity to roost up. And now he's going to have a healthy Zatu. Now he's looking in a much better shape, in my opinion. And now he's going to go back to Scyther to the real Calm Mind Musharna check on his team. And now he's going to go for a U-turn flat out. And he's going to do absolutely nothing because it's probably a bulky if you feel like Scyther. And now Soulgazer is going to use Baton Pass. He's going to Baton Pass out to his Combuskin, and now Combuskin's going to miss a Fire Blast here, and that's big. That is big, because although psychic damage was taken at 53%, and I guess he could have protected or something, they could be faster next turn. The Fire Blast assured it that Zatu would die. It missed. Now Zatu's presence is still allowed to linger. And now Evan can potentially fodder something and go to something else and then wear out and eventually kill the Combuskin while still having a Zatu if he so pleases to. And if not, then it's not really a big deal. But I think he's going to switch here. He's going to fodder the Fire Seed, which is a good play. And then he's going to go to Kabutops to revenge with Aqua Jet, I presume. But that really saves his Zatu, which can be fairly useful and is quick, and as opposed to the Pharaoh Seed, which is really useless. So now good predict by Soulgazer is just gonna You get the Aqua Jet into the Water Blow, but then he's just going to fight off the Mantine, which is a fine play because he doesn't really have much of a switch in list at this point. And now Mantine's dead. It's 5-5 game, but Stealth Rock's up on the Soulgazer side. And now Evan is going to bring out Skyther into the opposing Sceptile. Sceptile reveals Life Orb, Leaf Storm, so it's going to be a specially offensive variant or oriented variant. It could be mixed, of course, with Earthquake. And now Scythe is going to go for U-turn. Soulgazer is going to reveal that he's Rocky Helmet. I'm going to slow the fuck down. Jesus. Soulgazer is going to reveal that he's Rocky Helmet Wheezing, which solves any mystery. I don't believe Leftovers was even revealed, or the lack thereof was revealed, so I don't think there was even a mystery in that. But the Scyther is going to take some damage, and then Camrupt is going to be the switch in from Evan into the Wheezing, but then the opposing Wheezing switches out to Rhydon in order to check the Camrupt, and we're going to go on from there. And now there's going to be a Will-O-Wisp that's going to hit, and that's going to be good for Evan because the Rhydon's really weakened. And now there's going to be a bit of a prediction here. I like this play by Evan a lot. He's going to see that the Earthquake is sort of like the obvious move, and it wouldn't hit the Xatu or the Scyther, and it wouldn't, he doesn't really like the likely switch-ins to this, or just in general, Earthquake would do more than Stone Edge. So therefore, he assumes that Stone Edge is going to be a better play as he'll switch into something, and he goes for Stone Edge, he being Soulgazer, and Evan is able to take advantage of that, predict the Stone Edge, stay with his camera up, and kill the Rhydon with Earth Power. So he's going to get into a 5-4 advantage, and he's going to have Rocks up, and his team's going to be fairly healthy, although not all as healthy. Now, I'm Will-O-Wisp into Musharna here, and Musharna is going to... oh, wait, I missed something big here. I think that another key part of the play is that Evan predicted Stealth Rock to go up, and... therefore, Evan predicted that there was a chance he'd go for Stealth Rock and just kill him on that turn. But Soulgazer thought that he would try to prevent the Stealth Rock and go to Xatu, so that's why he Stone Edged. And he didn't want the Stealth Rock to be up for Scyther, and he didn't want to force the Kabutops to spin when it came in. So I think that was a bit of a mind game, like a 50-50-esque play as well. So I think that adds on to the whole thing that I was saying before. So really, the Rhydon Stone Edging there was probably a prediction of Xatu specifically, and not going for Stealth Rock. So I could respect that play. It's just sort of an out prediction. He got out predicted by Evan, so Evan made a good play there, and that's good for Evan. Now Evan's going to go for Will-O-Wisp into the Musharna, which comes in after the Rhydon is dead, and that's going to miss, and Musharna's going to heal up, so that's a bit of a momentum suck there for Evan, but at the same time, it's going to go for Calm Mind there. Soulgazer's going to go for Calm Mind there, and he's going to get a Scyther back in, which is good. Roost up. It's Side Shock. It's going to do about 32% damage. Now, Swords Dance is to play from Evan, and now that's plus 2 Swords Dance is going to do like 80%. He's going to go for Wing Attack instead, which is 51% because it's boosted by Technician. And now this is going to put Soulgazer in the ropes a bit because he doesn't really have much to do to this. So Roost is going to be the play from Scyther, and Badampa is going to be the play from Soulgazer. Now he's got a 2-time special attack Sceptile there, and he's going to be able to fodder off his Xatu. So I guess the miss... Oh, sorry, I'm just going to pause this. The miss of Fire Blast didn't necessarily matter too much, as both the Pharaoh Seed and the Xatu turned out to be fodder anyway, but at the same time, it sort of sucked momentum out of Soulgazer when he missed it at the time, so I guess it was not totally irrelevant, but both the Mons were foddered and didn't get any practical use thereafter, so the miss wasn't too big, and I think the game's been pretty clean otherwise, so I could, I like this game so far, but now there's a +2 special attack Sceptile on the field, and hopefully that's a Scarf Lock for Evan, otherwise it could very well be lights out for him, he could be done. He's going to reveal that he's not sturdy, so he's going to have to be Scarf, otherwise he's going to pretty much be swept. And he's going to reveal to just Scarf Knockoff, and that's going to kill the Sceptile from 55%. And now he's going to, Soulgazer is going to go into his Weezing here. And now it looks like that's a pretty damn good position for Evan, because he doesn't really have any way of losing this game, in my opinion, from here, although it's going to take a bit of time to win it. He's just going to go for Will-O-Wisp and Musharna. Musharna's going to get burnt. It's going to be a bit below 40%, and now Camrupt is going to switch out into Scyther. Scyther is going to be able to have a field day here pretty much because it's only check what really was Rhydon and I guess Weezing, but Weezing is not leftovers and it's got to rely on Pain Split and stuff. And now Swords Dance is a play from Evan. Now he's going to go for U-turn to keep chipping down that Weezing, and despite the Rocky Helmet damage, it's not really going to matter too much. Now Camrupt is going to be the play here from Evan, and now it's probably going to be a Pain Split or maybe... No, he's going to switch out into Musharna, and now Lob Plume's the play just as threatened the Weezing, which is good idea by Evan. He doesn't really lose anything from that. Now he's just going to go back out into Scyther again, the just staple Musharna check counter here. And now Combustion's going to be the play and from Soulgazer. But the thing is that the Combustion can't really 2-hit KO the Camrupt with the non-life orb Focus Blast. It really does nothing because it's EVLA. And now the second Focus Blast, both of them are going to connect somehow, but it doesn't matter as the Camrupt, of course, is going to live since it's especially defensive, and that's only EVLA Combustion. Now Earth Power is going to revenge kill. He's going to take out the Combustion. Now Musharna's to play here. It's going to side shock into Sizer. Sizer's still alive at a third of his health. It's going to probably roost up, I'd assume. I'm just going to go for U-turn. That's fine too. Still going to live the right helmet as he goes to Wheezing. And now Saw can pretty much just kill this or knock shit off. And it's going to be a good game. And if Evan is going to win this game, Can-Eh-Dian's going to win this game for the Falcons. His knockoff Scarf Saw cleans out the final two Pokemon. So good game. I don't think either player played particularly poor. I don't think either player played flawlessly either, although I think Evan played better, and that's noteworthy. I think both teams were all right. Again, I'm really a fan of the balanced sort of synergy and core and just really idea behind Evan's team. As I said before, with the Sock, Blue Top, Scyther, the physically offensive force within, and then also the defensive core with hazards to really get damage off and help gain momentum and limit the opposing counterplay. But at the same time, I think that Soulgazer's Calm Mind Pass has just always been a valuable idea an idea that's worth some value in like team building. Like it could work against certain opponents more so than others, but I wouldn't necessarily call it consistent. But Combine Pass has just always been good in like every meta game, be it OU, UU, RU, or NU. So I think it's a respectable effort and a decent team. I think they're better out there. But anyway, that's all I have to say. And this one goes to the Falcons. I believe their series is 2-2 now, and looking forward to more games and more SPL stuff. Woo! Finch is out.